Not exactly, Armin. It's just a different game that you're used to. Hello, Sean. And hello, everybody, and welcome to a different stream today. Again, as you guys may already be well aware, my 11th season of Universe Mode has concluded. If you haven't seen the last episode yet, be sure to check that out. Hope you enjoyed the nice music I was playing in the background there. So, let's get this started, shall we? Oh. Think you buy characters from the shop? I don't know. Oh. Okay, whatever. I think it's supposed to be... Oh, which guy is it? That would have the PlayStation Store stuff? Oh, I can't remember. I think there was like a faster way to get to the PlayStation Store, but it's whatever. But yeah, I just had some money to spend. It might have been that guy. I can't remember. Oh, it's a different color lab coat. Okay. Okay, 7's the new one because of the marker. Kevlar, different colors. Nice. Heh. Android 17. Casual. Poster boy. Oh boy. Oh well, that second color is kind of accurate to what Vegeta looks like. Oh look, it's Great Saiyan Woman. Gohan now looks like Videl. Anyway, let's stop messing around and let's actually get to what we're here to do.
Select your fighter.
So what do you want to talk about? I just had to.
I too once had a family I deeply cared about.
Whoop. Did I accidentally click 3v3? Oh, it's any number. Oh, okay. It was... Oh, right. It was listed as any number. I thought for a second I made a mistake. Oh, well. Someone is not paying attention, clearly. Planet Namek.
The outcome of this fight is anybody's guess.
Man, the only terrible thing about trying to... Thanks, Zamasu. Thanks for falling over. The only bad thing about me trying to play music is... Basically, I have to move stuff around just to...
You're hopelessly stupid.
I have to move stuff around on my bloody bench.
What is that transformation? Saiyans are supposed to turn into giant apes.
Hey, Isabel.
Are you ready? Fight it out!
Keep at it. You'll regret this. What? You'll regret this. That won't do. Prepare your I'll reduce you and this entire world.
Thanks, Frieza. Thank you so much for ruining everything.
It's over.
I'm the strongest in the universe! And that is why, you horrible... You must die by my hand!
Hey, look! It's the introduction to my intro song.
Goku! Win! You aren't strong enough to beat me.
I kid, but it's I had to say that because it's funny. So how has everyone been? Frieza, you the strongest in the universe? Oh boy, Freezy Pop. There's so many more people more stronger than you now. Is there a way? No. That is so frustrating. I wanted to see if there was a way I could get rid of the little dialogue on the bottom. Like the... You know, when the characters talk. But nope, there is no option to get rid of the subtitles. That is super irritating.
Select your fighter.
I'm guessing that's going to be an issue in Sparking Zero as well. Oh well.
Don't cheat! Select your fighter. Rolling! Select stage. Planet Namek.
I just wanted to see if there was an option for it because it was in my mind before. But I was like, can I turn off the subtitles? No, I cannot, unfortunately. Absolutely not, Frieza. There's way more people stronger than you now.
Fusion!
But
You're actually not that bad of a guy, are you?
I love you too, Isabel. Screaming Broly! He's definitely not the devil. Ow! He's definitely not the devil. This version of Broly is certainly not a devil. It's Chilai with the Dragon Balls. Is my phone seriously ringing? Is that phone seriously ringing as soon as my parents leave? Are you serious?
Rolling back to the planet Hydro weapon!
And Chilai just saved Broly from being killed. Seriously.
Gogeta! Win!
You're tough, but you're wasting your energy.
There's nothing more irritating, more frustrating that my parents leave their house. They tell me, oh, they're going somewhere, or dad has to go to work, and then mum just takes the car so she can go places. Is Chilai a love interest for Broly? I guess you could kind of say that. It's more the case of, she felt bad for him because Broly's dad was abusive. She didn't like Broly's dad, you know, being abusive to him. She more felt bad for him. She more didn't like how Broly's dad was treating him. Like he'd have a collar around his neck, and every time he'd get angry, he would hit the remote to calm him down. And Chilai didn't like that. She found that very abusive. Yeah, she didn't like Paragus. She thought Paragus was an abusive dad. So she more became friends with him. But I guess you could say love interest as well. Yeah, okay, Isabel.
Vegito, select your fighter. Zamasu, select the stage. West City.
West City! Destroyed. West City destroyed, buddy! Get it right!
This should be a great fight.
It's West City destroyed. Get it right. If you're gonna say the name of the place, actually say what it actually does say, you fool. Worst announcer. Alright!
Face me then, God. You've rambled on long enough.
This is Vegito Blue!
I shall defeat, eradicate humanity, and bring about the dawn of an endless age that can never be tamed.
That's what I got. Time to show you a thing or two. This is not gonna hold anything back. Prepare yourself.
You can't hear my light.
Used. I'm not gonna hold anything back. I'm not gonna hold anything back. It's the biggie. Go to hell.
Wow! I just did the final Kamehameha just randomly.
Can't be. A god losing to a mortal. This cannot happen. I am a god. I am justice given form. I am the world. The most noble, splendid, immortal, and supremely powerful god. Gotcha! Damn mortals!
It's over. Final. What's wrong? Is this all a god can do?
Vegito, win.
That's different dialogue.
Come on, make me get serious here.
That is actually that. I don't know if that was always there, but I think that's definitely different. I've never heard Vegito actually say that. He usually just says, "Get serious already."
Select your fighter.
Well, the more I play this, the more I learn. Ha.
Gohan. Select your fighter. Select stage.
The more you know, I guess.
Wasteland. Brace yourself for the coming battle.
Whew.
I will stop you.
This is no game. Prepare yourself.
Ready?
Oh yeah, of course Vegito was stronger. Vegito is the strongest character in all of Dragon Ball. Haha! Gotcha!
How dare you? How dare you?
Show him, Gohan. Let him see our combined power.
I am perfection! Cue Dolph Ziggler's theme.
I did it. Dad.
I am perfection. Do 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 perfection. I am perfection. So take your best shot, give it all you got, bring it on. That would be Perfect Cell's theme if he was a wrestler. If he was a wrestler, that would be the theme song he would have. Oh man, if he was a wrestler, that would be the theme song he would have. Just pull out Dolph Ziggler's "I Am Perfection" theme. Oh boy.
Select your fighter. Come on. Select stage. Space. This should be a great fight.
Because a little bit of fun fact for those that actually did not know, Dolph Ziggler's theme, "I'm Here to Show the World," was actually previously called "I Am Perfection." It was the same words, but just with "I'm Here to Show the World" replaced with "I Am Perfection," or "I Am Perfection" being replaced with "I'm Here to Show the World." Nope.
You gonna go crying to your mama?
Are you ready?
In Trunks' timeline, he never achieved his perfect form. Nope, he did not. Ow!
Is that all you got? One more time. Now
What? I'm not done yet! Kiss your ass goodbye!
Boom!
Guess that's the best I can do right now.
Hey, Kefla, Goku can't cry to his mum, she's dead.
You're pretty strong. I had to get a little serious there.
Nope. He can't. And why would you say that to Goku of all people? Oh boy, there were certain characters I wish that were in this game, like Super Boo, so you can get like an alternative ending with Ultimate Gohan. Like, I kind of wish they did one with Vegeta and Cell, where Vegeta does the final flash and it actually connects. I'm also kind of surprised they didn't, oh wait. Hang on, have I been forgetting about this one?
Land of the Kais.
Hang on a sec, have I forgotten that Boo had one?
A fierce showdown is about to begin.
I've only just realized that just now. Did I forget this one? Does this have a dramatic finish? I forgot if these two actually had one or not. Kefla goes for the I win and Goku counters with the Kamehameha. The divine Kamehameha, if I'm gonna correct you. But it's still it's the same thing. I can't believe I forgot this one was a thing!
You're really good. See ya. I hope you're reborn as someone good this time.
Goku, win.
Let's do that again sometime.
Wow, I'm such a dummy. I completely forgot that Goku and Kid Buu had one. This entire time I've been doing all of these dramatic endings, and then I wonder how many people were like, has Patrick forgotten that Goku had one with Kid Buu? Kid Buu and bringing us Oob. Yep, basically. Oh boy. Did I hear thunder yesterday? I heard a little bit of thunder.
My senseless. Select Frieza. Select stage. Rocky Field. A fierce showdown is about to begin.
Have I had Z Broly? Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know it'll only take a second for me to destroy you.
Even though it takes you a few minutes.
You know, I've been wanting to meet you myself.
Get ready.
Even though it actually took you a few, even though you toyed with Frieza. Oh, well, that was not the correct one, I guess.
That's all for now. Thanks, everyone.
I hate it. Like, there's two arenas with the exact same name. There's two arenas with the exact same name. And Frieza and Trunks are supposed to have an ending, but it's supposed to happen on one of them. And it's supposed to happen on one of them, and I'm just like, why give us two that are basically the same one? so silly. That's such a silly thing.
It's all or nothing. Fight it out.
Yeah, I know.
Can't you do any better? What? I see you. Can't you do any better?
Perfect! Frieza! And Frieza gets turned into Swiss cheese.
Isn't the only Super Saiyan. There's another one right here.
Trunks! Win!
That's all for now. Thanks, everyone.
And Frieza gets sliced into millions of pieces. Even though that's not the form of Frieza that Trunks did slice in half. Even though that's not the form of Frieza he sliced in half. I also wished Raditz was in this game so then Piccolo could have had his ending with him.
Frieza! Select your fighter! Bardock! Select stage! Space!
I gotta remember, Frieza's is different. Like Frieza is different. He doesn't have a circle move.
Good luck!
So it's a completely different attack for him. I always mess Frieza's up because it's like, oh, they always tell you to press circle to activate the dramatic ending, but Frieza's is just doing that. It's just him throwing rocks. If Frieza was a Pokemon, he'd be a psychic type because he could throw rocks. Damn it! You overdid it, Frieza.
Now, start begging for your life. Not that I'll listen.
Then don't tell him to beg for his life then.
Are you ready?
Ow! Alright, Bardock. Alright, Bardock. Oh my god, seriously? Wow! I literally had to let him hit me just to get. I literally had to let him hit me just so I could do it. Seriously.
This will change everything. Both
My fate and yours.
yours. This is the end of the line.
Now, start begging for your life. Not that I'll listen.
And again, that is not the form of Frieza that he was in when he destroyed Planet Vegeta. Because if he was in his final form, he could have just, you know, he would have creamed everyone. To be fair, if he was in his final form when he met the Saiyans would have stayed loyal to him because they know that, and they wouldn't even try to rebel. Okay.
Nappa, select your fighter. Yamcha, select the stage. Rocky Field. The outcome of this fight is anybody's guess.
So Beerus had Frieza destroy planet Vegeta because he feared a Saiyan would be stronger than him. I guess. Because Super Saiyan God.
That chump from before. Bring it on. I'll have some fun with you.
You gonna make me fight some Cybermen again? Sorry to disappoint you, but it's not gonna work this time.
Get ready.
Take this, Kamehameha! Let's go! Let's go! Don't toy with me!
Don't make me laugh.
What?
You were saying that it wouldn't work before?
You pathetic little runt.
Nappa, win.
Looks like you got some fight in you. But don't think that means you can take me on.
Nappa, you're so weak, a piece of pie could beat you. Well, hey! Well, hey! Raditz lost to a kid.
Select your fighter. Nappa, select the stage. Rocky Field.
Mind you, Raditz got his ass handed to him by a 5-year-old. Or however old Gohan was at the time. He got his ass handed to him by a 5-year-old, so I think Raditz is more humiliating than Nappa. Yeah, we don't need to see this again. And now just switch the and now it's time to switch the roles. Yeah, he lost to his own nephew. Ha!
Guess I showed you I'm not playing around, didn't I?
Yamcha, win.
Well, looks like you guys aren't as strong as I thought.
Congratulations, Yamcha. You did something useful for a change. Instead of being the guy that always gets his ass kicked. Instead of being the guy that always gets your ass handed to you.
I used the time. Select your fighter. Zamasu, select the stage. West City. A fierce showdown is about to begin.
Shame there isn't one with Goku Black, where Trunks maybe kills Goku Black, but oh well. But Zamasu is Goku Black, so I guess you could say it still counts.
Feel it. Everyone, lend me your strength.
Are you ready?
I see you. Take this.
Upon whom I like it. Now pathetic.
This is the end. I see you. Take it.
You sinner.
Zamasu's going down.
I will not hear your complaint.
I'm coming. Take this.
Praise me.
He won't lose to someone who believes in nothing but himself! Impossible! This cannot be!
Finish!
Thank you, everyone.
Trunks! Win!
That's all for now. Thanks, everyone.
Say goodbye to the most irritating god of all time, Zamasu. Oh, don't get me wrong. The Zamasu arc really saved Dragon Ball Super, but Jesus, it wasn't Zamasu the most irritating out of them all. Actually, there's something else I actually wouldn't mind showing because I think it's actually kind of cool. Wasn't Zamasu half purple when Trunks killed him? Yeah, he was. He was half corrupted, which is what they call that form.
It is not a crime to fight for a just cause. Let the anger built up inside you flow freely. Please protect the plants, the animals, protect this world I loved.
You've prattled on long enough, you miserable failure. He's changing.
I will stop you.
It's all or nothing!
Damn you!
Damn you!
That really all you have, Zone?
Gohan! Win!
Don't worry. I've still got more in me.
21 will destroy you for killing her son. Don't worry about that. Gohan does that for her.
Select your fighter!
Gohan does that for her anyway.
Select Frieza! Select stage! Planet Namek!
Yeah, I know Goku and Beerus have one.
It's time to face your opponent!
I don't know how many of these there are. These are the only two I know.
No, don't, Frieza! Go!
That's not what Krillin was wearing!
How dare you! You'll pay for this!
What?
Curse you! Now I'm mad! Frieza!
Ready?
That's what I just pointed out. Oh, how did that miss?
You were. Guess I'll give you a try.
How did that warped Kamehameha miss?
Miserable insect!
Yeah, blew him up with the Kamehameha.
All right!
Phew!
I'm gonna train harder and get stronger!
Okay. Alright, Beerus.
Select your fighter.
Alright, Beerus.
Space.
Beerus.
Get ready for a Dragon Ball Rumble.
A Dragon Ball Rumble would actually work in 2K25.
Now then, try to give me a real challenge.
This'll be a good match.
Are you ready?
Here we go. Not done yet. I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. Ooh.
Not good enough.
Thanks. Oh my God, Kakarot.
Very impressive. I might even say you're a rare genius. What a fascinating fellow.
Beerus. Win.
As expected, there's no way I would lose.
Yeah, but then you may call Goku a fascinating fellow, but then you really grow to understand what you really start to grow to dislike Goku because of his attitude, and how he calls Zeno and how he calls the Grand Zeno Zenny. The Army King can destroy every single planet in the universe. Do you understand? Hi, Zenny. Hi, Goku. We're friends. I saw a DBZ and super fans say they don't understand how Cell and Boo could die when they could regenerate. It's called blow them up to the point where they can't regenerate anymore. It's called they killed them when they couldn't regenerate anymore. And Cell even flat out said he had a core he had like a core in his body that would cause him to regenerate. So just destroy the thing that basically stops him from regenerating. I think it's not that hard to understand. Yes, they would have to be destroyed completely to not regenerate. Exactly. That's how it works.
Select your fighter. Goku. Let's go. Frieza. Select your fighter. Kefla.
No.
Insane! I'm loving it!
I know you're loving it, Kefla, but you're not supposed to be a part of this. Actually, I want to confess that they got this wrong. I actually want to confess they got this wrong. While yes, Goku and Frieza did get the win on Jiren, Android 17 was also there. Android 17 also played a role into it as well. So technically, it should be 3-on-1, not 2-on-1. Android 17 played a part in it as well. So technically, this ending should be 3-on-1. Not 2-on-1. But but they only counted as Goku and Frieza because, oh, they were the ones that got the win. So therefore it doesn't count for 17. Which I think is crap, because 17 was a part of it.
Evil must perish. I've had enough!
Frieza! Don't order me around!
This is trust! The power of Universe 7?
Yes, it is, Jiren.
Man, you're tough, Jiren.
Look at Frieza.
See you around.
Very well. But I will win next time we meet, Goku.
Goku! Win!
You can't let your guard down, even if you've already won.
Says the guy that got shot by Sorbet. If you don't know what I mean, in Dragon Ball Super, the Resurrection of Frieza saga, Goku basically has Frieza beat, and then one of Frieza's soldiers named Sorbet shoots him right through the chest when he had his guard down. The 17 was only one left, so he won. Yeah, that is true, but in the ending, Android 17 fires a few energy blasts at Jiren. So 17 distracted Jiren enough to allow Goku and Frieza to finish him.
I'm really getting pumped here.
Select Frieza!
My power level is...
Select stage! Space! Brace yourself for the coming battle!
Frieza, you're gonna pay!
How uninteresting.
Go perish with the rest of your kin.
It's all or nothing! Let's go!
Can't you do any better? You'll regret this! Can't you do any better? Can't you do it? That won't do.
Ridiculous imbecile! What?
It's pathetic. I will be the one to avenge them. Me! Me! I'm going to defeat you! This will change everything.
Fan service.
Even worth the fight, weakling.
That was more done for fan service and fan service only. We all know Bardock could never achieve Super Saiyan. And thus the events of Dragon Ball never happen. And thus the events of Dragon Ball don't happen. Since Frieza's dead, Bardock can go get Kakarot, bring him back to Planet Vegeta, and the events of Dragon Ball never happen. Kakarot never becomes Goku and never gets a son, and yada yada yada. Earth perishes because of maybe Cell or Boo. So good job, Bardock. You just basically gave us a terrible. So good job, Bardock. You killing Frieza there just basically doomed Earth. I think he achieved it in a spin-off movie. Yeah, he did. That is not actually canon though. But to be fair, Japan don't really consider anything canon. Japan don't care what's canon or not. Like, they don't really care what's canon. Like, they just make Dragon Ball. Like, they don't care if it doesn't make sense to the viewers. Like, to viewers like me or you or the entire fans in the North American world and other countries. Like, Japan, they just make whatever they want. They do not care if it makes sense. They do not care if it doesn't make sense. They're just like, hey, we're making the show. We don't care if it's not canon or what you guys are saying doesn't make sense or anything. Which is why people are now debating that Dragon Ball Super isn't canon, because, oh, Dragon Ball Daima didn't end with Goku and the others meeting Beerus or anything along those lines. And there are also fans saying Daima isn't canon, but, you know, it really doesn't matter. Well, especially to Japan. It doesn't matter to Japan. They're just making stuff. People in America and everywhere else, you know, we're just like, oh, we just want to put everything together, and, you know, we just want to put everything together in a perfect timeline so that everything can line up and make perfect sense. But Japan, they're just like, nah, we don't care. That's just how I see it, anyway.
Allow me to show my research results.
Select your fighters.
At last, I can finally test the power of my...
Select stage.
Beerus could have still been asleep. Those Daima fans need to realize that. Exactly. Exactly. Because according to Google, because according to Google in the timeline events, according to Google on the timeline events, Dragon Ball Daima basically is 1 year after Kid Buu got defeated. Because in Dragon Ball Z, when Kid Buu is defeated, they fast forward 7 years. That's something I just don't understand. How people do not understand that. When Kid Buu is destroyed at the end of Z, they fast forward 7 years to when they meet Oob. So within those 7 years, Daima can happen, Super can happen, and anything else in the middle before that 7th year to when Goku meets Oob. So everything else is in the middle. That is why they keep putting stuff in the middle of the 7-year gap when Buu was destroyed. Because they're like, oh, they fast forward 7 years before Goku meets Oob. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, well, okay, since they've got 7 years since we've got 7 years before Goku meets Oob, let's put Daima a year after Kid Buu's destroyed. Let's throw in Super 3 years later after Kid Buu's destroyed, and all this other stuff. That's why they put stuff in the middle of the 7-year gap. That's why they've put stuff within the 7-year gap. People don't understand that. People don't understand that. They just think all of it isn't canon because, oh, you know, we're supposed to get to when Goku meets Oob. So where would GT fall in that timeline?
If I can't control you, then I'll have to destroy you.
You have to destroy him because he killed your son.
This should be entertaining.
Well, 21, you should destroy him because he murdered your son. Where would GT fit in? I think GT follows after Dragon Ball Z, I believe.
Predictable. Here we go. Experiment's over.
Damn you.
This is what happens when you get in my way.
Android 21! Win!
This is most excellent. Showing an interest in a wide variety of topics is the mark of a promising researcher.
I'm sure it is. So where would GT fall in the timeline? I think GT basically takes place after the final episode of Dragon Ball Z, basically.
I can't give in now. Everyone's counting on me.
Select yourself!
This should...
Select stage!
Should kill sometime. So I think what I can understand. So I think from what I can understand from the timeline is that at the end of Z, when Goku meets Oob, they go to the hyperbolic time chamber. Goku and Oob go. Yeah, basically. But yeah, basically. So basically, from what I can understand, if we put everything together in the timeline, which is I was thinking of making a video topic, something like that, which is why, because this was a kind of video topic I kind of wanted to make for a while, because I was just like, oh, this is how I would line everything up in the timeline, because everyone just, you know, just doesn't seem to understand. So at the end of Z, when Goku meets Oob, they fly off to the hyperbolic time chamber to go train. They fly off to Dende's lookout. I know they still call it Kami's lookout, but they go off to Dende's lookout, go train in the hyperbolic time chamber. Thus starts the events of GT. So basically, the ending of Z, where Goku meets Oob, is the Kickstarter of GT. People say that GT is 10 years later. People say GT is 10 years later, which that can't be correct. Which that is not correct at all. Basically, Goku and Oob kickstart Dragon Ball GT. So I say GT is basically right after the Buu saga. Is right after the 7-year gap. Basically, that's kind of what I can gather from it. I think GT can be canon, but then we have another problem. Daima introduced introduced Super Saiyan 4. They brought in Super Saiyan 4. Daima put in Super Saiyan 4. So how can GT happen? So how can Goku achieve Super Saiyan 4 through the Golden Great Ape form if he already knew how to do it? That's another gray area for Dragon Ball GT. That's another gray area for GT. Because how can Goku achieve Super Saiyan 4 in Daima if he can do it in GT? That's another gray area for GT. Which is why some people say GT isn't a part of the official canon. Because, oh, Goku can go Super Saiyan 4 in Daima. So if you go off what you said, Goku could go Super Saiyan God against Oob, but didn't. That is true, but also Beerus isn't around. That is why the whole timeline thing is so messy. That's why the timeline thing is so messy. Because why would Beerus not be on Earth to when Goku and all them, you know, go to the World Tournament and all that stuff? Because Beerus loves hanging around Earth to catch up with Goku and everybody else. What? So does he just decide to go to sleep? So does he just decide to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to take a nap. We keep an eye on Goku and the others for me while he is sleeping through all the events of GT. Like, all the events of GT happens, Beerus and Whis do nothing. And also, the other reason why GT is also in the grey area. Here's another reason why GT's in the grey area. The Supreme Kai is still fused. He's still in his fusion in GT. He's still Kibito Kai in GT. In Super and Daima, he defuses. In Super and Daima, he's defused. He's no longer Kibito Kai in Daima because of Boo's gas, according to Daima. And the Supreme Kai is no longer Kibito Kai because in the Dragon Ball Super lore, he uses the Dragon Balls. Right? So how can all that happen if Shin is no longer fused with Kibito Kai? Kibito Kai has to be a thing through all of the events, but he isn't. Shin has defused twice in 2 different timelines. In 2 different timelines, they gave 2 different reasons to why he defused. Boo's gas in Daima, which I think is a stupid reason. Reason number 2 is he uses the Dragon Balls in Super. So GT is 5 years after the end of Z. It's only 10 years due to the fun animation dub. Well, okay, that's fair enough. So that would mean GT would take place 2 years after GT. If it's 5 years after Z, then that means it should be somewhere. So that means GT should logically happen somewhere after Super. Somewhere after Super. And in my personal opinion, Baby, Super 17 and Omega Shenron would stand absolutely no chance against an Ultra Instinct Goku, a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and a Beast Gohan, a Golden Frieza, and whoever else got a massive boost in power. So really, GT's villains would really stand no chance if you gave Goku and Vegeta and Gohan all their power-ups that they attained in Super. They'd be dead. They would stand no chance. Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance.
The outcome of this fight is anybody's guess.
You would literally have to write Baby to somehow be stronger than an Ultra Instinct Goku, which wouldn't make any sense. You would literally have to write Baby and all those villains to be stronger than them, which doesn't make any sense.
Delightful hunt.
Time for another delightful hunt!
You're an android.
Oh, he's serious.
Are you ready?
Oh.
Are you ready for a good time? The best SmackDown theme.
It's your fault for challenging me.
Android 21, win!
I wonder what I should turn you into. Ah, the tyranny of choice.
Oh, Lord. You're becoming just like Boo. 21. Stop thinking about food. But yeah, and I think this is the other reason why Japan don't really care about, you know, putting everything together, because about what's canon and what's not canon, because again, if you try to put everything together, then a lot of it just wouldn't make any sense. Like, especially if you give the characters all the power-ups necessary, it's just like, well then, friggin' all these other characters wouldn't really stand much of a chance. So that's kind of how I see it. I see it in the case of... I more see it in the case of, if you're going to put everything together, then you're going to have to try and make sense of all of it. So, if GT takes place 5 years after Z, then that would mean it would have to be somewhere, but that would also mean Goku would still have to meet Oob. He would still have to meet Oob. So basically, by the time we get to the 7 years, I read that Omega Shenron would be stronger than Super Saiyan Blue, but not Ultra Instinct. You know, that I kind of debate on. I kind of debate about that, but I guess Omega Shenron was the strongest villain in GT. I guess he was the strongest villain in GT, but here's the thing, he was gonna lose to a fusion of Super Saiyan 4. He was gonna lose to a fusion Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So does that imply that? Does that imply that a fusion of Super Saiyan 4 is somehow stronger than Ultra Instinct or Super Saiyan Blue? Because then that would definitely mean that Super Saiyan 4 fusion would be the strongest fusion of all fusions. Yeah, alright, Isabel, see ya. I'm wrapping it up soon anyway. I'm just talking. I'm wrapping it up soon anyway. So, it's a video topic I've been wanting to make, but at the same time, I have to like do a whole lot of research. I'm gonna have to think of a lot of things to say if I'm gonna make a video like that. Trying to put everything together as like, oh, here, like this is what the timeline would look like if you got everything, if you put everything together. But again, I just wish people didn't take it all so seriously. Like, I wish people just didn't have to take this kind of stuff seriously, because it's more the case of, oh, well, we want certain things to be canon, or we want certain things to not be canon, because all the people that love Daima, all the Daima fans that prefer Daima over Dragon Ball Super, they want to say, no, everything that happens in Super does not matter. It's not a part of the official canon. Super is wrong. Everything about Super is not official. It is not canon. All because the ending implies that they don't meet Beerus. Or the ending was, oh, you don't see Beerus at the end of Daima, so that means Dragon Ball Super is not canon, or whatever. Or GT or Daima isn't canon because Supreme Kai is still fused with Kibito in Dragon Ball Super. That is why all these timeline things, when you're trying to put everything together, wouldn't make sense. It feels like Daima and Super are like two different things. They're like two different things, and that is correct, because in Super, Shin is still fused with Kibito when Beerus wakes up. When Beerus wakes up, he's still in the fusion with Kibito, and that is why I say GT is such a grey area because you're creating another timeline where Shin gets out of his fusion because he lets Boo absorb him and Kibito so then they can separate, and then he spits them back out so then they can no longer be fused, which in my personal opinion, I think Boo's gas being the reason why the fusion, you know, ended, that was the exact excuse everyone made for Vegito. That was the exact excuse everyone made for Vegito, but then when Super changed it, everyone was pissy. Everyone was pissy because they thought that was not the correct reason why Vegito defused. But who's to say the argument that it took Vegito an hour to beat Super Boo? There is... How long is their fight unedited? How long is the Super Boo fight with Vegito unedited? When you go on YouTube and you watch the full fight unedited without all the episodes and all that, like if you watch the whole fight unedited, like on YouTube, it's nearly an hour. The whole fight unedited on YouTube, unedited, is nearly an hour. I'm personally fine with how Super made Broly. I didn't like how Broly was in the movies. And I'm not saying that, and I'm not just saying that because I like Dragon Ball Super. I'm not saying that because I like Dragon Ball Super. I like it because I didn't like the reason why they had Broly hate Goku. I think having Broly hate Goku because he kept him up all night was a lame reason to have Broly hate him. I think him hating Vegeta and his father for banishing him to another world because he was stronger than... Because King Vegeta didn't like Broly being stronger than his son. And Vegeta, my son Vegeta, Prince Vegeta, is the only strongest Saiyan that is allowed to be on this planet. If any other Saiyan is stronger than my son, should be banished. To me, that makes more sense. Broly and Paragus hating Vegeta and his father because, King Vegeta banished him because he didn't like that Broly was stronger than Prince Vegeta, to me, makes more sense than hating someone because they kept him up all night because of the crying. You know, everyone has their different tastes. Everyone has different tastes and different opinions. But we all have different opinions. That's why the world is the way it is. We don't have to agree with that said opinion, but we all have to agree that certain people prefer different things. If you prefer the crying Broly in Z, fine. That's perfect. You can. But if there are people that prefer the way Super did Broly, that's also fine. But we live in a world where everything has to be, if you don't like a certain thing, then you're this. We can have different tastes. We're allowed to have different tastes, and we are allowed to see things completely differently. You prefer Dragon Ball Z Broly? You can. If there are people that prefer Dragon Ball Super Broly, they can prefer Dragon Ball Super Broly. It's just a case of you can agree to disagree. I think that's the thing I got mad about when people were saying, they ruined Broly. No, they didn't ruin Broly. You just prefer the Dragon Ball Z iteration of Broly. Z Broly wasn't canon. They made Broly canon in Super. Broly is now canon and a part of the show because of Super. Z Broly was just a non-canon movie event. That's what Z Broly was. He was just a movie exclusive event. That's what he was. He was not a part of the official canon. That is why Cooler has never ever been mentioned in the actual canon main timeline show. In the main show, why do you think Cooler is never mentioned? Why do you think Frieza never mentions his brother Cooler? Because the events that happened with Cooler are not canon events. They never happened. The movies with Cooler were just different alternative universe world versions of it. If Cooler was canon, they would mention it. They would mention Cooler, and they don't mention Cooler. So therefore, everything that goes on with Cooler is never mentioned. He's not canon. He's not a part of the main story. That's why he's never mentioned in the main timeline events. It's the same thing with Broly, with Z Broly. That version of Broly is never mentioned at all because he never happened in the main timeline. The Broly that you see in Dragon Ball Super is the Broly that is going to be a part of the main story. He's going to be in the show. The Super version of Broly is going to be in the show. So he is canon now. Garlic Jr. wouldn't be canon either. He was a movie villain. That is true. If he didn't get his own little saga before Trunks arrived. Because didn't he get like a little side story? Or as they call it, mini arc? Didn't he get like a little mini arc before Trunks came? Because it was like Frieza was defeated, and then the next several episodes after Frieza's defeat is just them waiting for Goku to come back, and then the events of Garlic Jr. happen, and then after Garlic Jr.'s done, then Frieza's back, then Trunks arrives and all that, and all that. So yeah, Garlic Jr. wouldn't be canon either if he didn't get his own side plot. If he didn't get his own side plot in the main timeline. So, but it's also kind of funny that they also say Zamasu is the only villain to ever achieve immortality, which in theory is true if you don't think Garlic Jr. is canon. If you do not think Garlic Jr. is canon, then yes, that is correct. Zamasu would be the only villain to ever achieve immortality, but that also depends if you want to count the Garlic Jr. little side story. If you want to include the little side story of Garlic Jr. But then again, if you want to include the movies, then you could also say, well, technically that's still wrong because Garlic Jr. gets immortality in the movie The Dead Zone and all that. Janemba isn't canon either. Yeah, he isn't. The Z movies are not canon. All the movies in Dragon Ball Z are not canon. Now, the reason why I don't say Battle of Gods and the Resurrection of F movies are not canon, the reason why I say they're not canon is because they are canon because they lead into Dragon Ball Super. The Battle of Gods movie is divided into episodes in Dragon Ball Super. The Resurrection of Frieza is also divided into episodes in Dragon Ball Super. So those two movies, in theory, are canon because they happened in Dragon Ball Super. Yes, there were some small changes. Like, Super added Captain Ginyu coming back. The movie didn't. the movie didn't have Captain Ginyu returning. The show Dragon Ball Super did have Ginyu return. So there are some small changes between the movies and the show variants, but they are still in our eyes canon because the exact same events. And also in the show, Bulma's birthday takes place on a cruise ship instead of being at Bulma's house. That's the other big difference. Gogeta wouldn't be canon if he didn't show up in Super. He was in the Janemba movie. So Gogeta in theory still isn't canon yet, because the only fusion that is canon is Vegito. Yeah, so again, back to the differences as I said before. In the movie, in the Battle of Gods movie, Bulma's birthday party takes place at her house, but in the show version, Dragon Ball Super, the show version, she's doing it on a cruise ship. So those are the other big differences between the show version and the movie version of the exact same events. I do think Super is gonna make Gogeta canon, so I think when Dragon Ball Super, if it ever does come back as a anime TV show again, if they ever do bring it back as an anime TV show, I do think they will do the same thing again. They will be all like, oh, we'll do the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, but this time we'll do it in episodic episodes. We'll do it as a episodic episode, so then Broly can now officially be canon, and then Gogeta will be canon, and then they will do, and then they'll also probably do the Cell Max stuff. Isn't it on the ship where Beerus slapped Bulma? Yes, it is. Yes, the cruise ship is where Beerus slapped Bulma, and where Vegeta went, "That's my Bulma!" Yes, it was on the ship. Yes, that is correct. So yeah, there are some major differences. So yeah, there are some differences between the movies and anime versions. Oh, great. Drop the damn lid of my Coke. Cause I'm so good. Cause I'm fantastic. But yeah, so this was an interesting topic to bring up. So, but yeah, it's really up to you what you think is canon and what's not canon. But again, agree to disagree. That's just how it should really be. But Dragon Ball fans, you know, not to compare, but sometimes I think Dragon Ball fans can also be just as worse as wrestling fans. I genuinely think wrestling fans are way worse than anime fans, because my god, wrestling fans take things way too seriously. Wrestling fans take a scripted show way more seriously than how any person would take a cartoon seriously. Also, BoJack and Super 17 wouldn't be canon. Android 13 wouldn't be canon. Yes, I accidentally said 17. I think Android 17 would be canon if you want to make GT canon. Would Android 8 be canon? I didn't watch the original Dragon Ball when Goku was a kid, so that's really up to you. I think he has appeared. I think Ader has appeared a few times in the main story, hasn't he? I think he has appeared in the main show, didn't he? Didn't he help Goku get some of the energy for Kid Buu? I think he has appeared a few times in the main in the main show. So I think he would be canon if he has appeared before. If he has appeared before. He would be canon if he has appeared before, which I think he has. Because my brother has been watching Dragon Ball. He wanted to get back into watching Dragon Ball, and he basically wanted to watch it in chronological order. You know, the correct order. But he is gonna have his mind blown because he's just finished all of Z. He finished all of Z, and man, I feel bad for him watching the Boo Saga because he really didn't enjoy the Boo Saga. He told me, like, close to the end of it, he was getting very, very bored because Boo just goes on forever. Like, the Boo Saga just goes on for ages, and I'm just like, yeah, that's the biggest problem with Boo. Like, it just goes on and 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 on. And now he's just finished GT, and when he gets around to watching Super... Yeah, that is unfortunate. And then when he gets around to watching Dragon Ball Super, he's gonna see Trunks and Goten as kids, and then he's gonna be asking me, why are Goten and Trunks kids in Dragon Ball Super? I saw them as adults. He's gonna be very confused. He's gonna be very confused when he starts watching Super. Do you count the Abridged series as canon? That's just... That is just a bunch of content creators just having fun. I follow one of the content creators of Abridged, named Masako. He's the one that does that weird Goku voice. He's the one that does that weird Goku voice. So no, I don't really count Abridged because it's just a bunch of YouTubers I think it's just a bunch of YouTubers just having fun with the show and just turning it into, just changing it. Yeah, so I follow one of the guys that does the Abridged series. It's just, so no, I wouldn't call that canon. I think it's just its own thing, as like, oh, it's just a bunch of YouTubers just having fun, you know, with the show that they love. Would Kai be canon also? That's a good one. I think Dragon Ball Z Kai is just a variation of Dragon Ball Z. I think it's just a different variation of Dragon Ball Z. That's why it's that. As I said, Japan don't care about what's canon and what's not canon. We, as the viewers, care because we want to put everything together. So, again, when it comes to Dragon Ball Z Kai, that's completely up to you if you think it's canon or not. But since it's just retelling the events of Dragon Ball Z, it's probably canon. It's probably canon because it's retelling the events of Dragon Ball Z, just with more up-to-date graphics. I think Kai focuses on the fights. Yeah, Kai focuses more on the fights. It just cuts out a lot of the cuts out a lot of the filler, as they say. Cuts out a lot of the filler. Kai focuses more on the fighting, and it just cuts out less of the... So, like, the Namek saga in Kai would be way more tolerable to watch in Kai, because then you wouldn't have to always see them cut back to Bulma having a bloody fit about being left behind for about the millionth time. You know what I mean? So yeah, the Kai version of the Frieza saga would probably be best suited for you, because if you don't want to listen to Bulma continuously cry every 5 episodes or so about being left behind, then the Kai version of the Frieza saga would be way more better than just constantly listening to Bulma have a whinge about being left behind. Because seriously, how many episodes, how many times do we see, how many times in the main timeline do in the middle of the fights we cut back to Bulma having a whinge about being left behind and everybody forgetting about her, you know? It happens so often. It happens so often in that. So I think Kai would definitely. So if you want to watch the Namek saga, just watch it in the Kai version because less Bulma, because it will be better, less Bulma. Listen, I do prefer Bulma over Chi-Chi. At least Bulma is better than Chi-Chi, but God, she was just very insufferable in the Namek saga. At least Bulma lets her kid train and become a fighter, while Chi-Chi's the naggy mother. And that's another thing that's actually one of the biggest negatives I didn't like about Super, because in Z, Chi-Chi allows Goten to train and become a fighter, because Gohan mentions how Chi-Chi has changed when Goku died, and Chi-Chi was more willing to let Goten become a fighter. But then when Super comes around, all of a sudden now Chi-Chi's back to being the naggy mum, the naggy mum that doesn't let Goten train, and now she's like, no, now you need to study now, Goten. You're the one that needs to start doing studying and all that shit. I'm just like, what happened to the Chi-Chi that let Goten train? Like, oh, is it because Goku's back now? Or is it because, oh, Goku's alive now? Or we don't need my youngest son to train to be a fighter because the guy that loves to train is back? That's why I didn't like Chi-Chi, that's why I've never been a fan of Chi-Chi. It's more the case, that's one of the small negatives I didn't like about Super. Like, Chi-Chi was willing to let Goten train, but then as soon as friggin' Goku comes back to life, it's like, nope, Goten, you're now studying. Stupid. I got a LA Knight trophy on 2K14. You get it by using LA Knight and beat Finn Balor on Legend difficulty. Cool. I used to be really good at the WWE games to where I could play them on Legend difficulty. Well, anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I think it's time to end this stream here. I've rambled on long enough. So, thank you all for watching this stream, guys. And I will see you all, quite possibly, for 2K25. And the only reason why I say possibly is because my parents could change their mind, and they might not. Because I've already told my mum that it comes out tomorrow, and I want her to get some money out so that way I can get it. And she said she'd do it. But if I know my mum, she might change her mind, and she might not want to do it tomorrow. But I am hoping she does. I am hoping. Because my mum is very good at changing her mind. So, I'll see you all for quite possibly 2K25. See you next time.